Hey, I'm Chris Lopez from Kettlebell Workouts.com. One of the most frequent questions that I get both on the blog and email sent to me is, how do I do my first pistol, or my first one-legged squat? So I'm going to show you how to get your butt all the way down to the ground doing your first pistol. Now, truth be told, if you're not squatting below parallel with 2 feet, then you're going to have a really tough time squatting below parallel with 1 foot. So the first thing that we need to do is clear up some mobility issues and getting you squatting below parallel. And by below parallel, I mean when you're doing a regular body weight squat to come all the way down and right back up. Now, there's a lot of myth going around that squatting below parallel is bad for your knees or anything like that. I'm here to dispel those myths. It's not bad for your knees. In fact, your glutes don't even start to kick in until your butt drops below parallel. So we want to get as much of our leg involved, or the muscles in our leg involved when we're squatting. That means hamstrings, that means quads, and glutes. So we've got to be squatting below parallel. Remember, back in the day, that's how people went to the bathroom before toilets were invented, right? Humans are meant to squat below parallel. So, first things first, if you can't squat below parallel yet, let's start practicing that, and I'll show you a few tricks. First thing we're going to do is tackle mobility. So, what I want you to do is try to get your hands on a foam roller or a tennis ball or a medicine ball, and let's work on rolling out your glutes and your external rotators just to try to get some mobility in your hips. Okay? So one of the best rolling exercises that you can do is just have a seat on a foam roller, take one leg and cross it over the other so that your ankle and your knee are touching. You're going to take your free hand and push it down on that knee so that you're opening up your hip joint, and you're just going to try to roll into your piriformis, which is one of the deeper muscles in your hips, and your glutes. And just try to get some flexibility, some mobility into that area by kneading out the inconsistency or the painful tissue. And believe me, when you're doing this for the first time, you'll know when you're doing it right because it'll hurt. Now, I've been doing this for a little while, so I can kind of tolerate the pain, but I'm still pretty tight in the hip. So I'm just going to roll that out, and we're going to do it on both sides. Okay, and then after that, what a lot of people don't realize is that they can't squat below parallel because they have poor mobility in the ankles. Now for women, a lot of that has to do with the fact that women wear heels a lot. So if your ankle's in this position all the time, then chances are for you to be able to really get below parallel into a squat, you're not going to have a lot of mobility if you're constantly like this, especially if you work at an office with a dress code. So here's one ankle mobility trick that I learned from Mike Boyle, who's probably the best strength and conditioning mind out there in the industry today. And this is what he did to help some of his basketball players get into a little bit more ankle mobility so that they could squat below parallel. One of the tricks that you should try. What you're going to do is you're going to take your toe and put it up against the baseboard of a wall. Keep your heel on the ground. So keep it flat on the ground, hands on the wall, and you're just going to see if you can touch your knee without lifting your heel off the ground. If you're able to do that, then you've got pretty good ankle mobility, but we might want to build a little bit more. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your toe and move it about 1 inch back. Push your heel to the ground, and now put that knee up against the mirror or up against the wall again. And do maybe about 15 reps. Now if you can't get to the wall or the mirror, that means that your ankle mobility is a little bit limited. So you want to really try to work in and try to gain a little bit more of that mobility. After you're good at that, move it back another inch and see if you can really get that knee to the wall, still keeping your heel on the ground. And then move it back even more and see if you can get that. So again, that's one of the things that limits how low you can actually get in the squat, is ankle mobility. So, my suggestion first for episode 1 is let's take care of the mobility issues. Let's get a foam roller, really try to roll out all the external rotators in your hips and in your glutes. After that, get into some ankle mobility against that wall by doing that exercise. My suggestion is probably going for about 15 to 20 reps, maybe once or twice a day before a squat workout, and really try to get yourself below parallel. I'm Chris Lopez from KettlebellWorkouts.com, and that's episode 1 of how to do a pistol squat.